Alright, I really didn't think I'd be doing a prediction video on Rutgers, because, no one really expects Rutgers to do much this year, um, much of anything. Um, I honestly, I expect slight improvement, and that's not saying much of anything. They had one win last year. If you remember the 2018 season, Rutgers went in and won the first game against, I believe it was Texas State, and after that they lost 11 straight. Rutgers, believe it or not, at one point had a better record than Michigan did. They were 1-0. Yeah, and that was about it. And Rutgers has truly been terrible ever since the 2014 season. The 2014 season was actually pretty decent. I think they had 8 wins, and that was the year they came into the Big Ten. The Big Ten, they were decent. They were decent. They should have never left their conference, to be honest with you. They should have never came into the Big Ten. It was a terrible decision. I'm sure they did it for the money, because Big Ten's a big conference. But they also got to wonder, Rutgers is the Big Ten is a very, very hard conference. There's a lot of really good teams in the Big Ten, a lot of nationally ranked teams. Ohio State is always amazing every year. Michigan, always really good. Michigan State is always, pretty decent, or pretty good at least. Penn State's always really good. That's just 4 of those teams, and those are all in the East Division of the Big Ten, where Rutgers is, and they're always at the bottom of, because they can't beat any of those teams. They can't even beat the bottom of the barrel West teams, and the worst team in the West is Illinois. They can't even beat Illinois. The West side of the Big Ten is considered the worst side. They don't usually win the Big Ten championship ever, mainly because of Ohio State. But even a bottom of a barrel team, Illinois, can pretty much say that there's a very good chance that they will beat Rutgers. Now, I made a video a long time ago on last year, I believe it was, on the Rutgers 2018. I did a Big Ten reaction video to all the games every week. Every week I would go over another Rutgers loss, but one of the most embarrassing losses they had last year was against Kansas, where they lost 55-14. It was truly embarrassing. It really was embarrassing. In terms of the team last year, one of the worst offenses in the entire national, in the entire nation, in the entire country, in all of college football. They're one of the worst teams in the FBS, and they have been that way. By far the worst team in the Big Ten. They had 1 win, I believe. Illinois had maybe 3, or how many wins did Illinois had last year? I don't know. They have to definitely had more than Rutgers did. Rutgers' best game last year, other than Texas State, was probably against a team like Michigan State. They had a 4-point loss to Michigan State, but Michigan State was, even when Michigan State was had one of the worst offenses in the entire country, all of college football last year, with all the injuries that Michigan State had on offense last year, and just, not being able to do anything on offense because of it, going 7-6, losing 7-6 against Oregon in a bowl game. That's really bad for Rutgers, and they can't even score points. I mean, not score points, but I guess it's more worse for Michigan State. But they did that was their best game. That was their best game against Michigan State, and that wasn't even a win. Texas State, no one really cares about that because Texas State's an FCS team, and they mean nothing. They're just as worthless as any other FCS team. That it just isn't anywhere. Isn't a team. But I'm gonna be doing a Rutgers 2019 prediction here, and I feel like I'm rambling. Honestly, I just don't know what to say. Rutgers is just a terrible team, and I expect that to continue in 2019 with maybe a slight improvement. Maybe 2 wins. I don't honestly. I think I'm pretty much saying my prediction now. Let's just go through these games. Massachusetts, right? Now, I think this could be close, but Massachusetts is one of the worst teams in college football. At least they were last year. They were terrible. A nothing team. So I think Rutgers can win, but I really don't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the win right now. But really, it could go either way, to be honest with you. And then poor Rutgers. Every year, they gotta play like a really tough team in week 2. Last year, in 2018, they played Ohio State in week 2. They got absolutely demolished. Now they gotta play Iowa. I guess not as bad as playing Ohio State, but still pretty bad. Iowa's probably going to be one of the best teams in the West. That are I definitely think that they're a Big Ten championship contender. They're going to be with Wisconsin and Nebraska, and maybe the second, even the best team in the West. They'll be fighting for sure for a Big Ten championship game. I don't think they'll win it, but that's another video. Iowa, loss. Iowa's a pretty darn good team. I believe they won 9 games last year. That's pretty good. So Iowa, that's a loss. You get a bye week in week 3, but then you go ahead and play Boston College. Boston College is a dangerous team. Boston College may seem as one of those easier games, and it is, but Boston College is still much better than you. If you can't beat Kansas, you can't beat... if you can't beat Kansas, you can't beat Boston College. Boston College wins here, and you're 1-2. Michigan. You haven't beaten them since 2014. And that was because you guys won 8 games and Michigan won 5. Ever since then, you have lost to us. I don't remember the score in the 2015 game, but 2016 was that 78-0. That 78-0 loss to Michigan, which was the largest margin of victory for a team since the 40s. And then 2017. You guys lost to us when we had a pretty terrible offense. You allowed us to score 35 points in that game. 35-14 was the final in that one. And then, of course, 2018, we beat you by 35, 42-7. Michigan, honestly, is only gotten better, especially on offense this year. Their defense will only take a slight step back, I believe. We're probably going to be Yes, I'm a Michigan fan, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm a Michigan fan. Uh, we're gonna be a better team, and you guys will too. But it's still not gonna mean anything. Michigan wins big here. Maryland. Maryland is a team that you guys could beat. I don't know why I'm giving you guys the benefit of a doubt. I feel like I'm insulting Maryland here. But I don't think you will beat them. You're going to lose here. Indiana. I honestly forget about Indiana sometimes. I mean, they're pretty irrelevant. They won like 5 games last year. You know, they always give a scare to a few teams. I definitely think that Indiana's not going to be very relevant at all in the Big Ten. I mean, when you talk about the Big Ten, you kind of forget about Indiana. But yeah, you're gonna lose here, especially because it's at Indiana and they're just a better team. Minnesota, this is your homecoming game. Will it matter? Absolutely not. Minnesota wins here. I'm not saying Minnesota's a great team by any means, but neither are you. So Minnesota wins. What do you guys now at this point? Like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, and 7. Liberty. I'm gonna give you the win here. You guys have it at home, and you guys play that game on the same day of the Michigan Notre Dame game, so no one's gonna care about it. Especially because it's Liberty. I guess it could be an interesting game. I don't know. I'm gonna give you guys the win here. You have 2 wins. Congratulations. You've doubled your record in since the 2018 season. Illinois. At Illinois, definitely a team that you guys could beat. I know for a fact that Illinois fans every year are like, okay, we're pretty bad again. But we got Rutgers on the schedule. I mean, we can pretty much guarantee a 1 win. They got one at least. No, they won 4 games last year. I'm an idiot. Illinois won 4 games, one of them being Rutgers, and Illinois is gonna have that same thing. I don't know how Illinois is gonna do this year. Probably not very good, but they're gonna get that Rutgers win. They'll get that. You guys lose here. Then you have a bye week, and I guess that's a good thing because this final 3-game stretch is unfair. Ohio State, at least you get it at home, not going to matter whatsoever. You guys are going to get destroyed by Ohio State like you do every year. It may be Ohio State's best game. But they always have their best game against Ohio State. I don't know. I'd be surprised if you scored 3 points in this game against Ohio State. Actually, no. I'd be surprised if you scored a touchdown. If you scored a field goal, whatever. If you score a touchdown, I would be shocked. It's not happening. Ohio State's defense is going to be really good, and your offense is not. Michigan State, another team that is going to be heavily, I guess heavily improved. They returned most of those players that were injured from last year, and they're gonna have a much better team on offense, and their defense has only gotten better, which is not good. So don't expect to score a whole lot of points in the Ohio State-Michigan State game, or the Michigan game, or really any game for that matter. You guys are gonna lose here, and it's gonna be a lot worse than 14-10. A lot worse. They're gonna kill you this time around. It won't be close. Penn State. They're having. I don't want to say they're rebuilding, because they really don't do that. Because Penn State always has a pretty good year, like 9-10 wins is usually their range. But they do replace their quarterback. I don't think it's going to matter very much. They're probably going to have a really good run game that they'll run all over you guys. And your defense is just terrible. So you guys are going to lose here. Like I said, that bye week right there is probably in its best spot because the final 3 stretch of games from November 16th to November 30th is just unfair. Just terribly unfair. But yeah, that's my prediction video for Rutgers. Big Ten Championship? No, not happening. It shouldn't even be on the website. Just cross it out or something. Not happening. Rutgers go 2-10. They'll double their record from maybe they'll double their record. I don't know. They could lose to Massachusetts or Liberty. Honestly, they could lose all their games. I don't think so though. I'm gonna give you guys 2 wins. 2-10, probably the worst in the Big Ten once again. Not really surprised here. Your best part about your team, your special teams, and that's not even really that great. Anyway, so yeah, Rutgers, you go 2-10. See you guys in the next video.